Okay, Venus, it's all yours.
Okay, so first of all, I want to say that this is my 4th attempt at doing comedy, but I've come to understand that if I try to do comedy, I'm really not that funny. But if I spend some time just letting you know about my funny life, then I don't know. It's a lot easier, and I don't have to worry about all the shit I left behind because I'm usually running between things and a little bit less prepared than I mean to be. But anyway, thank you for your presence on my journey. Now, what I want to talk to you about is the changes that life has brought me through. When I was young, I wanted to fit in. I wanted to fit in, and I definitely didn't want kids. And life just brings you through those changes where you understand that you're not in charge of the plan. So here you are, not in charge of the plan, and boom, you have the one thing that you didn't want, and it turns out to bless your life. That's great, but now you have all these extra responsibilities, and what do I do with it? And I remember one time I had this boyfriend, and he gave me a gift, and it was like a responsibility. And something about having responsibility involved with getting a gift doesn't make it as awesome. Like, it could be your birthday.
Get right on the mic like you want it. Get real close.
Okay. It could be your birthday. It could be your birthday, and someone says, you know what? I know she's always wanted a puppy. But then you gotta talk to your landlord about the puppy, and you gotta walk the puppy, and you gotta remember to feed the puppy. Did I mention I'm always running between things? So I had a kid, and the kid grew up and had some kids too. And I was like, when my kid grew up and had some kids too, I was like, yes, my job is over. And then I realized those kids were going to bring me through those changes that made me want to spend more money, which means I had to earn more money, which means I had to earn more wrinkles for the work I had to do. Then one day I woke up and realized I have 2 kids and 3 grandkids. And it made my heart race because I realized there was a whole thing going on outside of what was going on inside of me. And that's when stuff really started getting funny, because all the stuff that I was getting angry at before, as I could take a little bit of perspective, made me realize that the universe feeds us an awesome sense of humor. Like, have you ever been stung by a bee and realized that the only reason that they stung you is because you interrupted their work?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, kids interrupt the fuck out of your work. They do. I remember one day I said, I'm going to clean my house, and my son dropped off his son. And I was like, yes, I'm going to spend time with this awesome kid, and Andy's going to motivate me to do the things that I want to do. If I'm washing dishes, he's standing between me and the dishes, and he pushes me back. And if I don't move back fast enough, he bites me. When you step back, I mean, in the moment when he bites me, it's not funny, but I remember one time, little story, one time we were sitting there with a friend of mine, and I mean, I think it was one of those children's shows like Coco Melon or whatever, get just like sucked in. And I was really enjoying it too, so I said to my friend, I wanted to draw him into the conversation, oh, what do you know about the Muffin Man? So my grandson and I and my grandson and my friend, we're all laughing because he says, oh, I know all about the Muffin Man. And I was like, what do you know about the Muffin Man? He says, I know, I want to kick his ass. So there I am, I'm laughing laughing. 5 minutes later, we're still laughing. I'm like, yes, we're about to get into Guinness. I'm laughing, and he's laughing, and my grandson is laughing. And then my grandson stops laughing. He looks me square in the face. And I'm looking at the kid, and I'm still laughing because I'm about to get into Guinness even if he doesn't, you know? So here I am, square, looking square, and he wasn't laughing. He came up to me like he was getting ready to hug me. And we're just laughing. We're getting into Guinness, right? I mean, a team effort, we would all get in, right, as a group. I don't know how it was going to work out, but somebody was getting it. This was the longest laugh ever.
You want a drink?
And he walked up to me, and he wrapped his arms around me, and he bit me in the left eye.
You want cola?
I mean, it hurt. It really did. But when you really think about it, the universe like sends you messages. And from that message right there, what I got is, I will not fuck with the Muffin Man. He has a whole fucking mafia of kids running around having his back. The Muffin Man is the shit. I love the fucking Muffin Man. I don't eat muffins myself, but I mean, the Muffin Man, he's the shit.
Here comes the Muffin Man.
No!
Yeah, he killed him.
Oh, he killed. He can have all my muffins. I don't eat them. But I'll tell you what, I'm still not fucking with the Muffin Man. I'm not.
Thank you.
Okay. Where was I? Oh yeah, I was going through changes and bouncing between things. And you guys gave me your attention as B. You see that? When I'm in the middle of a good thing, something.
The bee came by, yeah.
Yeah, but I was talking about him earlier, right? He was like, get back to work. You saw me out here working. Okay. All right.
You sweat till they don't die.
He's working the wood up there.
Listen, that's fine because there's something sweet up there for him, and I'm sweet enough. So I don't want to really draw his attention too much. So I guess
Oh, good.
what I'm gonna do. Okay. So, in my spare time, I like to focus on growth. Because one day, I found myself at a job where I was growing organic produce. And somebody said, you gotta weed the garden. There are things going on in that garden that make it look full and fresh. but you're stunting the growth by letting them stay there. Oh man, once I got to doing that, man. Now every time I see something, I can come over to your house. I'm like one of the rudest house guests ever. I'll clean your bathroom and then I'll come out and say, by the way, I approved the plan. I don't know what it is, but now I'm slightly obsessed with getting off all the things that just don't belong. And sometimes it's my jokes. But sometimes it's me sharing reality with people who aren't ready. And sometimes that happens to me. Like, I don't know if you noticed, but I've got one of those appearances that goes, like, makes me want to ask, what is she? What is she? And people ask me all the time, and I never answer because I think it's rude. So, anyway, people still come up to me and tell me their life story, sometimes in Spanish. I'm currently learning Spanish. I've been doing it for 3 years, and I must say, necesito estudiar español más. But I'm working on it, and I'm going to be better through these changes. But did I mention that I look like this, and I have 3 grandkids and 2 grown kids, which means I keep
I got
like...
1 grandkid.
Yeah?
Almost 2 years old.
Almost. Has he bitten you yet?
She's a handful.
Oh,
She's very,
did she bite you?
No. She's got her own little 3-wheeler that she rides around.
Oh, was she running over your toes?
If you want, I can catch
One
it.
time,
Yeah.
one time I had this sister, right? And we got this, she got a Smurfmobile. This was way back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she got a Smurfmobile, and and we got a letter in the mail. We got a letter in the mail, and it was like her name, only there was 1 letter missing from the last name. And it said that she was involved in a vehicle collision. Now, it just so happens that on the very same day, she did run her Smurfmobile into the couch. And we were like this close to getting an insurance out. This close.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's your granddaughter's name?
Lena. Lena Marie.
Lena Marie. Marie is like one of the most common middle names.
My daughter named Lena after her grandmother, and Maria after my mother.
After your mother. And was she named after like Saint Mary? I think we all were. Marie's like my middle name, for real.
She got everything. You know, I
Yeah.
treat my kids with respect. They got everything they want.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
I try.
Yeah.
I didn't have the stuff back in the day. You know what I mean? I worked 3 jobs, now I'm buying them what they want.
When my daughter was young, she was like, we used to walk into stores and I had her this habit where we walked in there, she knew she was walking out with something. And it was usually a concussion because I didn't have money to pay for all the things she was asking for. I don't know, that's just my reality. I mean, not everybody suffers that. Some people are super privileged. Some people get all that awesome stuff, like a dad and a mom.
Okay.
Mother's Day's coming up. And I don't have to give a card to nobody because my spiritual mom just like passed away. Before that, like my biological mom, she just... Anyway, she wasn't there. So I decided to program my life around not being her. And I did a pretty damn good job until I found out that I was bipolar too. I mean, isn't that a funny reality? I mean, when you really rub it around, it's like you run from those things that you don't want to replicate, and boom, there it is. Yeah, there it is. So anyway, we're not too much alike after all. I took a picture of us together. We don't even really look alike because I don't have to run from being that anymore. I'm wrong. Hi. I was doing my work, damn. So anyway, yeah. So you saw that visitor, right? That's nice. That's nice. You probably leave all y'all alone. It's because I'm really sweet enough. Now, I really can't eat muffins, truth be told. I one time ate a couple of Stewart's donuts. You know those Stewart's donuts?
Yeah, I love them.
Right? Especially the seasonal ones. The ones that are like, limited edition. Oh, those words get me all the time. What do you mean I can only get this one time?
Stewart's anything.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, okay. Listen, I'm not here to advertise for them.
Stewart.
No, because they won't pay me. Will they pay me? Because if they pay me, I will talk about it all day. I will. I mean, I'll talk to you. You want to talk about it? We can talk about it if they pay us. Will they pay us?
I don't know.
Okay, well, anyway,
I'll call
if y'all want to pay us at Stewart's, you know, we are open to sponsorships. So anyway, as I was saying, I ate a couple of donuts, and I was standing there, and I was standing there, and I realized if I don't sit down, I'm about to pass the hell out. I had only eaten a couple of them, and that's when I realized maybe I might want to cut down on the amount of donuts I eat, and now I can eat like a half of a donut, which is cool because it keeps me safe from the Muffin Man. There are only no altercations between the two of us, and I don't have to worry about getting jumped by a gang of toddlers. That's really scary. The world is actually a lot scarier than it was when I was growing up. Like, I remember when my parents, and by that I mean my dad and whatever, stepmother or whatever, I used to go to the store, and it would be getting dark outside, and it was okay. It was okay to walk down the street. It was okay to talk to your neighbors. It was even okay to take a ride from the soccer field from one of your friend's parents. But now, that's why I can't watch the news. It makes me afraid to go outside. And I gotta go outside. Huh?
I smacked that bee last week. He came back.
You
He got
smacked?
9 lives.
Those ones don't
No,
stink.
I even zapped them before. I hope they don't die.
They don't stink.
With the fly swatters?
They get curious, they'll fly right by
Oh,
and look at you, but they won't sting.
Oh, they will if you frustrate
Well,
them.
if you swat on there.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
Well, you're interrupting their work. They got things to do. We had a whole discussion about this.
They're doing their business. You know?
Yeah, huh?
That's what they're thinking to do. They're doing their business. Nobody can see them.
Well,
Behind closed doors.
well, I mean, I'm just saying.
He's got a
We
little
gotta,
hole there.
Yeah.
we got bills.
Over the winter too.
I tried to close them up. They bring back to them like at my house. You can't.
They do, yeah.
They come back.
Just leave them be.
Yeah, that's a good one. Just leave them be.
Right, so anyway, about, you know, this whole, I mean, you can see, you know, I said I'm a mom, I'm a grandmom, you know.
Yeah.
Could be like somebody's wife, right? But I did that twice, both times, different ways. I'm a diversity specialist.
Where Mr. B? Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
I
Tom's a
mean,
different one. He's a different color. That's not.
that's fantastic. So they're all doing their work right up there.
Yeah.
Probably not a
Tearing the
convenient-
building down.
Probably not a convenient location.
They don't stink, I promise.
No.
Huh? No, I know
I've
they're
been
not gonna
friends with
sting
those
me.
kids for years.
They're not gonna sting me.
I went on the roof doing the roof. I ripped the shingles down, and I got bit by one.
You got bit by one of
Yeah,
those.
because I was ripping shingles down, they hit a nest for me.
It was their home.
Yeah, well, I got to do a roof for somebody when I was
Are you
younger.
sure it was that
I-
gonna be or?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
yellow jacket. Those things
No,
scare
they're-
the hell out of you.
Well, if you don't box them, they won't. They won't.
No,
fight
if you don't bother them, they won't bother you. When
Yeah.
I opened up, they
No,
were,
you just leave
there
them
was a
alone.
big nest in that head.
Yeah, if you leave them alone, they'll leave you alone.
They won't bother you.
Yeah, I know. They just want to do
I let
their
them land on my head.
That's kind of like me, you know. That's kind of like me. That's what I do. I do my work. You know, I get distracted. I come, something gets better, and then I leave. I don't know. So, like I said, I'm not funny apparently, you know, but I'm working on it. It's gonna happen.
You got the perfect balance between funny and serious.
Yeah.
I'd be dead ass serious when I'm joking. That's what I call it, you know. Dead ass serious when I'm joking. Like that's my whole style.
Well, I'm gonna keep going, but can you spell something for me?
Can I spell?
Spell ICUP.
Man, do you really want to watch me? You want me to watch you, or do you want you to watch me?
Oh, she knows the joke.
Of course I know it. I've known it since like the 80s. I fucking love the 80s.
Yeah, I miss them.
I so miss the 80s. Like in the 80s, I could like just sit on my porch.
We used to do bonfires on Frankfurt at my grandmother's house, big ones.
Frankfurt, right?
Yeah.
We used to like to go to Frankfurt, Ilion. We have a family home head. It just got lost, but in Middleville.
You'll find it.
No, I didn't misplace it. The tax collectors came and took it. You know, so it's still exactly where it was, but.
Do it. Dang it.
I didn't really like the 80s. All that walking we had to do, you know, up, going to school uphill both ways.
With three to five siblings on your back,
Right.
barefoot in the snow.
I could
This ain't snow.
I remember when I was younger, I used to laugh at people like that. Now, I get drunk, I set my hand down on my knee and I say, let me tell you about life. And then I tell them about all the things I ever messed up. And they say she's not as funny as she thinks she is either. So at least I'm true to character. I mean, at least we can give me that, right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, anyway, when I had children, now that I think about it, the kid that bites me now, he doesn't bite me anymore because we had a serious talk about how that isn't funny.
You didn't bite him back?
No, I did that to his dad though. I totally did it to his dad. But today is called child abuse. You're not allowed to use corporal punishment.
Do not bite your children.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't know if we were all raised biker children in the 80s, but now the government says, don't look at your child wrong. All we needed was a look. We knew that we didn't want to go home and get beat. Did your mom look at you? My dad looked at me. His wives looked at me. And sometimes when they looked at me, I meant they were going to throw me in a base. But anyway, that's a different story. What I was saying is, did your mom look at you? Yeah, you got the look too? You know the look.
Oh, the look.
The look. Oh, I used to use it on my kids. Only I had a phrase because I was in a transition. See, now when I was pregnant with my daughter, I looked down at my belly. I said, "You better not. You better not," because I had just seen on Sally Jesse Raphael. There was this 13. Little 13-year-old. She wasn't even 13 now that I think about it, but she was calling her mama the B word. They had to use the bleeping sound on the TV because of the way children were talking to their parents. We just don't do that. If I would have tried that, I would have been slapped into next week. To next week. You know what I'm saying? But now and today, by the time I was raising my children, there was like one of them was not only one of them would say this because time had to pass. I had 5.5 years. I tell you, the government has just been messing with us for a minute now that I think about it. But all I'm saying is the children have been going through changes too. Hello.
1 minute.
1 minute. Okay, so anyway, a long story short, as you go through these changes, understand, and the bottom line is, do not fuck with the Muffin Man.
Yep. Very good.
Victorious Venus right there. You did really well. Very well. Good comedy.